And of course, we'll be talking about the Europa League. And I have Stanley Chileke joining me as well. He is in Manchester, UK. Stanley, welcome to the show. You know, there's a popular song by the musician Lagbaja where he said, put a smile on your face, no matter condition. If you know that song, I mean, it means you need to smile. Show us your 32. We are not the cause of Man United's problems, but welcome to the show, Stanley.
Thank you for having me. Manchester United can never steal my joy, but we keep moving.
we keep moving. But let's talk about what happened yesterday. You know, Man United considered the stoppage time goal to draw 2-2 away to Lyon on a bad night for goalkeeper Andre Onana in the first leg of their Europa League quarterfinal. Will seal the deal, and United makes it through to the semi-finals of the Europa League.
Well, to be very honest, I was very happy and comfortable with the performance yesterday. It was, although they were able to start the game very slow, but over time you could see that they were able to take the ball from the back and move into midfield and start making good transitions to be able to get the ball and create a lot of chances. I was very happy with the performance yesterday, and aside the free goals that my goalkeeper was giving out yesterday, I was very happy with the performance. But yeah, what matters in any game is that you come away with a win. Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about the club proper. Now they have a growing problem in the goalkeeping department, and in a scarcely credible tale of hubris, Andre Onana has been a major culprit in that one, committing 2 howlers that cast the goalkeeper as a mug and Nemanja Matic as a seer. Now the build-up to United's game in France had been dominated by a pre-match spat between Onana and Lyon's Nemanja Matic, who formerly played for the Old Trafford club. Now Matic said Onana was what he described him as one of the worst goalkeepers in Manchester United's history. And the Cameroonian international was at fault for both goals his team conceded on the 9th. Before the start of the season, Onana did promise us a lot of risk, but let's listen to Nemanja Matic, who classified Onana as one of the worst goalkeepers in the Manchester United history.
I don't know, to say that you need to have cover for something like that. Onana. I respect everyone, but to say that, then you need to get the answer. If you are one of the worst goalkeepers in Man United history, you need to take care what you are talking. If David De Gea or Peter Schmeichel or Van der Sar say that, then I will question myself. But if you are one of the statistically the worst goalkeepers in Man United modern history, then he needs to show that before he says. So we will see.
We will see, and indeed they saw yesterday, and Lyon's player, Nemanja Matic, will be looking at himself and saying, look, I said it, that this guy is one of the worst goalkeepers in Manchester United, and he has proved him right. Okwe, do you agree with what Matic said about Onana, and has Onana really proven himself to be what Matic calls him?
Well, the statistics are there. They prove themselves. And when you take a look at the number of goals that Onana has conceded, how fast he conceded those goals, the manner in which he conceded the goals as well, I think Onana proves Nemanja Matic right. And then last night was just... it was terrible. I mean, the first goal that was conceded, I would blame him totally for that. I think he didn't anticipate the ball as fast as he could have. The second one, I might not blame him so much. The ball was well struck by Mikautadze, and it was just unfortunate that Onana parried the ball to another Lyon player. But I mean, just take a look at some of these clips and look at the way Andre Onana, a £50 million goalkeeper, fails to stop shots that probably look simple. And you'll be wondering, for a goalkeeper that is worth that price tag, you'll be wondering why, he does this. But honestly, this is nothing new, if we're being honest. We've seen Onana at Ajax, we've seen Onana at Inter Milan. Yes, he does have his moments where he produces some brilliant saves, but he's one goalkeeper that finds it very difficult to remain focused for 90 minutes. Honestly, this is an issue with most young goalkeepers, but for someone with his wealth of experience, you would expect better from him. And he seems to be someone who speaks more than acting out what he actually wants to do. And I think he needs to focus on the pitch and focus on what happens on the pitch. Forget about what's happening on social media, about what other people are saying. Forget about other teams. You are not better than any other team at this point in time. You are languishing in the second half of the table, and we're already at the business end of the season. So, look, I think Nemanja Matic was right, and sadly, Onana was not able to prove him wrong for now anyway.
Now, United paid over 40 million to sign Onana from Inter Milan in the summer of 2023 as a replacement for four-time Club Player of the Year, David De Gea. But he has largely failed to shake the view that his occasional frailty adds to the fragility of a struggling side. Now, Amorim came out to defend the goalkeeper, saying he also has made some mistakes. Let's listen to Coach Ruben Amorim.
Important is to focus on the next game, on the next game for the league, and then think about the second leg against Lyon. When one player has a mistake, all the team has a mistake. No, we continue to do the same thing: training, seeing the games, trying to choose the best 11 to win every match.
Everybody makes a mistake. He himself has made mistakes when he does his tactics and formation that he uses for any time he plays his team. Stanley, a lot of controversy has surrounded Onana. Start of the season, he said he's promising us he'll be taking a lot of risk this season. And it feels like the risk are not even paying enough for him because it's putting him in the bad light. Now, he responded to Nemanja saying that he has won more titles, he has lifted more titles with Manchester United compared to when Nemanja was there as a player. Now, the major comparison has come out saying that, look, when David De Gea was there, there was a glimmer of hope for United to either finish the game with a point or 3 points. Looking at the statistics from when David De Gea was goalkeeper in their first season. Now, take a look at the appearances for the first season of both goalkeepers. For David De Gea, he had 29 appearances, kept 13 clean sheets. He won 20 games, lost 4, and made 102 saves. For Andre Onana, in 38 matches, he had 9 clean sheets. He had 18 wins, 14 losses, and 149 saves. Of course, he did 149 saves better than David De Gea, who had 102. But then, looking at both goalkeepers, some have said De Gea also struggled in his first season at Man United, but his stats show it all. Second season, 28 matches for David De Gea, 11 clean sheets, 22 wins, 2 losses, 84 saves. Second season for Andre Onana, 31 appearances, clean sheets, 9. He has 10 wins, 13 losses, 87 saves. What do you make of Andre Onana compared to David De Gea? Some have said that, Stanley, they've said that, look, letting David De Gea go was the worst mistake they could have made as a club.
Well, I wouldn't say it was the worst mistake the club has made, but statistics has proven that Onana is looking like a downgrade from De Gea. But let us also not forget that in their first and second seasons, the quality of defenders that Manchester United have had on the team are totally different. Quality of defense that De Gea had when he was in the second season and Onana has currently, and structure of the team as well are totally different. And we have to keep that. We have to keep that in mind. However, in the famous statement that says, strikers are going to win you games and the defense is going to win you trophies, Onana has not been able to prove that he can keep the team in the game, which is exactly what De Gea was giving to us. De Gea could make a lot of silly mistakes in the game as well, but we had some level of confidence that De Gea was going to keep us in the game, such that the strikers are going to keep going and going and going until they get a goal, and De Gea will keep making saves. Just like last night, Onana didn't have so much to do as a goalkeeper in that game. And the 2 chances where Lyon, had, clear-cut chances to get the ball in the net, he was not able to turn up. And that is what is very, very disappointing. Another point would be, if you're going to come out on social media to start, having a word brawl with a senior player that has, that has a lot of trophies to his name, and even though he wasn't able to win any major trophy with United, he was able to win the FA Cup, I believe, Matic with United. But if if you're going to come out on social media to start making those kind of statements, you should be able to show up in the game. It's simple. You have to cover for everything that you have said on social media. You have to cover for it in the game. And unfortunately, he was unable to do that yesterday, and he made a mess of himself, honestly. And it was a big disappointment. Yeah.
Right, and talks have also been had because no one is there to really compete with Onana when it comes to the first choice goalkeeping situation at Man United. The reserve goalkeepers are here that they are also injured. But let's take a look at other goalkeepers who have been there with Man United, ranging from Schmeichel to Edwin van der Sar, and of course David De Gea. Compared to Andre Onana, where would you rate these goalkeepers along with Andre Onana?
I don't think it's a comparable situation. You can't exactly compare Andre Onana to the likes of Schmeichel, to the likes of even David De Gea or even Van der Sar. It's difficult to compare Andre Onana to that. I would also make reference to different times and seasons where, just like Ope mentioned, it's difficult for younger goalkeepers now to keep concentration in the game of 90 minutes. Younger goalkeepers or younger footballers now are much more focused on performing for social media than actually performing for their team or performing for the game. You see the likes of Schmeichel and Edwin van der Sar being able to show up for their team, keeping your team in the game. It's very necessary for you for your team to have that trust in you. And even from yesterday's game, you could see some of the back line, especially a situation with Maguire, unable to trust that Onana could come out and grab the ball, and he was able to kick it out to like a throw-in. So there's been different actions to show that there's some distrust.
Now, Ope, what exactly should Man United do now? Because, the season is almost over. Should they start shopping for a new goalkeeper, or should they get a new goalkeeper trainer to further improve Andre Onana and maybe stop him from commenting on social media as well?
Well, look, the truth is that it's very hard to move on from a £50 million investment.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to bin that investment straight away. And then when you even go into the market and you're assessing available goalkeepers, it's not going to be easy at the end of the day because you don't really have a lot of good goalkeepers that are currently available. The best of the best are currently with some top clubs, and they are number one at the moment. I think one man who is going to be on the move is Espanyol's Joan Garcia, and I don't even think Ruben Amorim is probably thinking in that direction because rumor has it that he might be on his way to Arsenal. It's almost a done deal if I'm not mistaken. So for me, I think Ruben Amorim just needs to speak to Onana and just let him know that, look, boy, focus on the pitch, focus on what goes on in the game because that's where we need you the most. Onana was brought into the club, under the administration of Erik ten Hag because he's a goalkeeper that knows how to play with the ball at his feet. He knows how to play from the back. And goalkeepers that know how to play from the back, they bring a certain confidence to their defenders. However, the only issue with Onana is just him being 100% focused on the game and knowing when to curb individual errors. That's just where Ruben Amorim needs to work on. I don't think the goalkeeping position is necessarily where United need to be investing in at this point in time. With all due respect to the reserve goalkeeper, talking about Alyat, I think that's the pronunciation of his name. The few FA Cup and Carabao games that I've seen him play as well, he's a pretty decent goalkeeper. He's a pretty decent backup, actually. Obviously, his name is not just big in the world of football, but I think United have other areas in which they need to invest in because the current system that Ruben Amorim uses, I do not think that this crop of players at United are the best players suited to execute this style of football. And I'm not going to blame Amorim for going with his style of football. It's been proven and tested for him while he was at Braga. Initially, he started with a 4-3-3, and immediately after 3 months or 4 months, he switched to a 3 at the back. It worked for them. He saved Braga from relegation. They finished in the top half of the season. The following season with Braga, they went ahead to win the Portuguese Cup. That ended his move to Sporting Lisbon, and we're all aware of the wonders he did at Sporting Lisbon. He made FC Porto not important anymore at Portugal. So for him coming to United, and saying, look, this is my system of football. This is what is going to work. He knows what he's doing. So the owners at United need to get him the right players to execute his system flawlessly. However, they need to make some sales first. They need to sell off these players. And the question is, how sellable are these players, and how many clubs want these written up stars from Manchester United? That's going to be a huge dilemma for them going into the transfer window season.
Now, Stanley, before I let you go, Andre Onana, yes, the sticks are coming out for him. But like David De Gea, do you think Andre Onana will still come good eventually? Or has all hope been lost?
All hope is not lost with Onana. Onana has proven several times to be someone who can make saves. He's had very good games, and he's someone that can actually keep a clean sheet, right? Like all I need from Onana is to keep his concentration, shut out, from social media and all this unnecessary talk. It's the same problem I'm having with Manchester United as a club as well. There's too much focus on Manchester United, so much interviews. The manager is having to, speak a lot with the media, so many interviews in a week, and they're doing the same thing to the players as well. So if Manchester United can put some control to how much social media these people have access to, and even though there's like freedom of speech and freedom of whatever you want to say online, but keep the concentration on the game and come to the game with the mindset to. So yeah.
All right, we hope that everything turns out well for United and Andre Onana, and he finds his confidence again and really proves to the world, not just Nemanja Matic, proves to the world that he's indeed worth that amount that he was bought for, and eventually becomes a United legend. I look forward to that time, and it will be a great one for Africa as well. Well, thank you very much, Stanley, for joining us, and I hope that you put a smile on your face at the end of the day, like Lagbaja has told us to. Thank you very much for joining the show.
No worries. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Oprah. Have a wonderful day.